Hello, Leo. How are you, my big fat pussycats? Fall is officially here. I'm thoroughly enjoying it, and I'm thoroughly enjoying your energy. Just kind of dropped down into it. Had some lunch, feeling good. Nothing too. Got some. I've made 3 pots. Knock on wood. Sheetrock of like non-burnt brown rice, and it's been delicious. It's been really filling, and it hasn't been spiking my energy. I can totally tell the difference between the white and the brown. So Leo, we are doing a career challenges spread. I've got my little notes here, so pardon me. I am trying to move away from the love as long as I can until Spirit tells me to circle back around to it. But I've really been enjoying this spread, and I think you will too. I feel like it's not for feminines or masculines. Check your ascendant, your moon, your rising, your Venus, your Jupiter, all that good stuff. But I think everybody can get something from these reads, and so I've really been enjoying them, and it challenges me as a reader, how I'm having to interpret the cards in order to, not shoehorn it, but get the messages, like pull the messages out without a lot of, you know me, I love my clarification, right? Sorry, my curls are getting all weird. Anyways, let me stop messing with my hair. Leo, making me so self-conscious of my locks. All right, let's get into this, Leo. So, career challenges spread. The first question is, what is your goal? What are you trying to get to? Are you in a career yet? Are you thinking about getting into a new career? Are you actually in the career that you want? Or are you thinking about changing? Definitely think this runs the gamut of where you're at and what you can be doing. So what is the goal for Leos? I'm using the Mystical Shaman deck by Colette Baron Reed and another person. Actually, no, is it Colette? I think she, yeah, it's her and another guy. Wild, ooh, we got 2. Wild woman, why am I getting the chills already? That's really strange. Wild woman and completion. Your goal. I love the wild woman. Wild woman is definitely something. This is like no holds barred. This is being able to shake it, do whatever you want, however you want it, whenever you want it, as long as you want to do it, right? This is, yeah, I keep getting no holds barred, like being able to just go out there, put out there what you want, right? And to be able to get it. Like, it's just like, I don't care if anybody's watching me. I am in my own energy, and I am connecting with the energy of the universe, and the birds are coming, and the energy is like moving around me. Like, this is someone that's shaking things up. This is what you want to do. You want to shake things up, and you want to complete a cycle, right? And you want to complete a cycle, maybe cycle. I heard circle energy, and I'm like, yeah, it is a circle, duh. Oh wow. I'm getting, oh, I just got chills. Yeah, okay, I'm getting family vibes off of this, actually. Like, maybe it's something that you want to create that you can give to your children, right? Oh, give them the freedom that you never had. Yeah, this is very family. It's like keeping it close to home, within the family, keeping it in the family. You want something that you can keep, the legacy that you can keep. I keep getting the chills. It's crazy. Keep something that you can keep in the family, but that allows everybody in the family to have the freedom that they want to do. That's where I'm like, it's so Aquarian. It's so Aquarian. Let's see here. What's our biggest challenge? So the biggest challenge, we are going to use a little tarot for this and see what we get out from there. I'm using Chris Ann's Light Seers Tarot. I know you see it everywhere. There's a reason for it, because it's a beautiful deck. It shuffles beautifully. It tells the story beautifully. It's super inclusive of everybody. I really love it. I just thought of something that isn't represented by it. I hadn't really thought about that. Anyways, what is Leo's biggest challenge? King of Swords. Okay. I like that it's upright. We keep getting these, I keep getting these character, I guess that's why, because I tried to switch it up. I was like, I don't like getting the characters. And they're like, no, this is why you need the tarot for this particular question, is the King of Swords. So the King of Swords, your biggest challenge is maybe being too analytical, because the King of Swords is clear-headed, but he doesn't communicate. He communicates very clearly, but there's not a lot of warmth to it. It's very clear, it's very concise, it's very cutting. It is swords. A lot of people, it turns a lot of people off, and this might be something that you maybe need to definitely work on. But I feel like you're speaking truth. I think it's just, it's delivery. It's also demeanor. I'm also getting like a little bit of a, like he seems like really chill or whatever, but he's got a little bit of this, like if you study body language, he's got a little bit like the look on his face. And also when people have like a curl of their mouth, like a little curl, it means like they're somewhat, I want to say disdain. But I was thinking more of like superior. People think that they're not, oh, there's a word for this and I can't bring it up. It's in the back of my head. But people don't trust when somebody like kind of sits back judgy. You know, that's not where I was going, but also a little judgy like that. That it's almost, okay, critical, very critical, and not afraid to like say it. Which is great, like if you're in a construction, you know, zone or whatever, but like it's not great when you're in a personable whatever. Again, you have to, you know, we have to be well-sided. You want to be the emperor. Even the emperor can be a little harsh. The emperor has gone through all of these kings and has learned all the lessons, and the King of Swords definitely has to remember, including myself, remember how they deliver it and in what scenario and whether it's appropriate or not. Like they can't just be, well, that's just the way I am. Right? And it's like, okay, well, that's the way you can be, but that's not the way the rest of the world works. So when you go out bigger than your bubble, you're going to have some issues like dealing and talking with people if that's the way you always communicate. Okay? My saggy bluntness is, and I've definitely been, well, that's just the way I am. Right? And it's like, no, that doesn't work on an airplane. I can guarantee you that. So what's holding you back? We're going to be using the Animal Spirit deck again. Colette Baron Reid. Can you tell I like Colette Baron Reid's works of art? Because they are. I never knew that about tarot. It's a work of art. Like it's just artwork, right? It's artwork to trigger our subconscious. Like the rest is the magic. There's no magic in the cards, right? The magic is around us and in us. Ooh, what's holding you back? I'm getting that again. It says, let spirit be your guide, but Hawk Spirit. Hawk Spirit in the Kim Kranz deck is all about someone speaking, but I also use it as like a card that usually is like someone of authority or like of a military background. It's that harsh delivery. It's that, and that zone, you think of a hawk and how they, that critical eye, that eye for detail, which is amazing, but not always when you verbalize it. The way it comes out comes off very harsh, very critiquing, critical, but you're like, oh, but it's for your own good, and like people just need to hear the truth. No, like delivery, right? And I feel like you just really are able to, again, I keep getting this imagery of like the hawk seeing the field mice and like zeroing on it. Like maybe because you are so analytical and you are so like smart and intelligent to be able to like pick out, I understand it, because like, I mean, that was my job to critique people, and then I had to start really reining it in when I got to the real world and people weren't asking me to critique them or like show them every speck of dust and dirt, what's all over their house or whatever, right? Like I wasn't I was in other people's homes. I didn't need to do that, but I didn't know that. I didn't have that awareness until I got myself into trouble and like really turned some people off doing that. So I understand this energy, but yeah, it's really like delivery, and spirit is saying like, let us take, like, you listen more than you see and criticize and hone in on other people's, right? Because it's very easy to pick out other people's issues and their idiosyncrasies and like really zero in on like what I think you should be doing and this is what I think is wrong with your project and all this other stuff. But there's a way that you can do it without seeming condescending. And a lot of people are like, well, I use softeners and I this, that, and the other. But then it sounds like a condescending or placating or whatever, like, because then you sound like you're starting to talk to somebody like they're a child or whatever. And like, let me soften it or make it easier for you to understand, right? Like, I totally understand. It's like a spiraling energy, and it really is, it's what's holding you back. And from going further, because you cannot like communicate. You can't go into the bigger business world. You have to stay around like kind of the Cretans. I say the Cretans, but I'm like seriously, like you can't communicate like this and go into corporate America and expect to like have anybody take you seriously or even let you in the door or keep you working there. If this is your communication style, you can't be a leader, and you can think like this, but you cannot execute like that or speak like it. You should execute like that. So what's pushing you forward? Let's go ahead. I'm using the angels and ancestors for this. I don't mean to be harsh, Leo. It's just like I'm very harsh on myself, you know, for this, and it's something I've really had to learn. And it was just like, but that's just, you know, it's the truth. Yeah, your truth also, you know, that's also like that very, like, I know the truth. I feel, wow, this stargazer. Oh, they want me to keep it in reverse. Wow. I've never taken one of these in reverse. They said keep it in reverse. It says set your stargazer, set your sights higher. What I'm getting from this is they're saying you have very big aspirations, and maybe you need to lower them, lower your expectations. Like, you know, shoot for the stars, catch a cloud, right? Because when you're always, yeah, there's also this big perfectionism, like, and I think the way you judge and talk to other people is the way you judge and talk to yourself internally, right? It's as above, so below, inside, outside. I realize that my criticalness and my judgment, I judge myself just as harshly, if not more. And so it was like, well, I can take it, can't they? You know, but a lot of people, and that really comes from stemming from having like a horribly critical mother and and growing up in a horribly critical church, you know, to be perfectly honest with you. There's a lot of, and I'm a Virgo stellium, so it's like innate that I'm going to, you know, you turn a Virgo into, it can get really bad, you know, and so this is saying, you know, lower your expectations, and like, also like all the huff and the puff of like, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And then it never happens, or you never even take a remote step because it's overwhelming, right? Tiny, tiny increments, small micro wins gets you. And then you can raise those expectations back up when you actually prove the little stuff. It's the paralysis by analysis, but you're willing to criticize everybody around you to make yourself feel better. And like, you're actually helping them. Therefore, you're actually doing something productive. And everybody's like, oh yeah, you want to criticize me? Well, let's take a look and turn that criticism back on you. If I were to turn that back on you, right, how would that Leo take it? Leo wouldn't take it very well. Leo doesn't like criticism, right? They want to do, I'm sorry. It's just, I spend a lot of time with Leos. I am self-critical. I mean, I will talk about all the signs have their Achilles heel, and right, that pride and that aboveness and that aloofness and that superiority complex definitely is a shadow Leo trait. And here Spirit is saying at the same time, set your sights lower. It's saying intend and create, but the key operative word here, Leo, is intend. You have to put intentions in there. You have to like not just throw everything at a wall and expect things to come back to you, right? You have to put it out there. You can't just talk about, sit back and criticize everybody else's and not criticize your own life. You have to, if you can't live up to, anybody can't live up to your own standards, the only thing you do is create a life where you can live up to your own standards and not worry about anybody else. But the first step in doing that is stepping into action. Step into your masculine role. I don't care if you're a feminine or a male or a female or a they or whatever. It's talking about you need to step into masculine energy, which means you're leaning forward, you are taking action, and you're not waiting for things or trying to magnetize things. Law of attraction. Law of attraction is like, let go of something, walk away, it'll smack you back in the ass, right? But when you keep reaching for it, right? And I'm not saying not to, I'm not intending isn't the same as reaching, right? It's a lot different. It's a different energy and it's different vibration than that. This is saying you need to get up off your ass, stop criticizing everybody else, stop criticizing yourself, and do something. Do something small. Create. Intend and then create. Okay, I'm done yelling at you. We're gonna get one. Sorry, I'm feeling it. It's like that fire. It was like Aries. It was just like, it's this whooshness. And with Leo, it's like, you know, you have such that solar plexus and you want to move and you want to go, but when you feel stuck, right, and you don't have that fire, and then that fire comes out in a very distorted way. Work through your fears, man. It's the fear threshold. It's pushing past something. It's like being in a sport or like going off the diving board that's a little higher or whatever. You feel a little scared, but then you do it because it's a calculated risk. Work through your fears. New moon in Scorpio, right? This is pushing past the fear threshold, and it's a little one. And if you know that you're not going to die, it may feel like you're going to. It's just like, let me just do it. It's one little step at a time. I know it sounds like, even for me, when I was like wanting to do this morning miracle thing, and they're like, you know, go walk and this, that, and the other. And I was like, I hate walking. I was like, you know what, Mara, what you can do? You can walk 100 feet. And then you just go back to bed. All I want you to do, 100 freaking feet. And of course I walked 200 because I was like, this is lame. And I woke up for this. And I only get 100 feet, just like when I started doing the push-ups. Only 10. It doesn't matter. You can do them one at a time, every hour on the hour, as long as you complete 10. 10 they're ridiculous. Actually, I started with one push-up. To be perfectly honest, it was actually when I stayed here the first time. I said one push-up, Mara, and I was like, that's ridiculous. And I was like, okay. And then I started doing it, and then I worked it up, and then the next month I was like, okay, 10 push-ups. And even though I was already kind of like up to 10, but it wasn't required of me. Tiny increments, my friends, and you'll do just fine. All right. I love you so much, Leah. We'll see you next time. Bye.